A sprawling, privately run detention center in the wind-swept California desert town of Adelanto could house nearly 2,000 migrants facing the prospect of deportation. These days, though, it's nearly empty. The Adelanto facility is an extreme example of how the US government's use of guaranteed minimum payments in contracts with private companies to house immigrant detainees might have a potential financial downside. In these contracts, the government commits to pay for a certain number of beds, whether they're used or not. The government pays for at least 1,455 beds a day at Adelanto, but so far this fiscal year reports an average daily population of 49 detainees. Immigrant advocates say the number of detainees at Adelanto is currently closer to 24 because authorities can't bring in more migrants under a federal judge's 2020 pandemic-related ruling. The US government pays to guarantee 30,000 immigration detention beds are available in 24 facilities across the country, but so far this fiscal year about half, on average, have been occupied, according to Immigration and Customs Enforcement data. Over the past 2 years, immigration detention facilities across the United States have been underutilized as authorities were forced to space out detainees in some cases, such as at Adelanto, by court order, to limit the spread of COVID-19. The government is still paying them to keep the facility open, said Lisbeth Abeln, Deportation Defense Director at the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice in Southern California. It's really concerning they're still getting paid for all the beds every single day. It's empty. At a facility in Tacoma, Washington, the guaranteed minimum is 1,181 beds and the average daily population so far this fiscal year is 369, according to official data. A detention center in Jena, Louisiana, has a minimum of 1,170 beds, with an average daily population of 452. ICE currently reports 23,390 detainees in custody, official data shows. The agency has long spent money on unused detention space by including guaranteed minimum payments in its contracts, according to a Government Accountability Office report focused on the years before the pandemic. The minimum number of beds the government paid to guarantee rose 45% from the 2017 fiscal year to May 2020, the report said. Officials at ICE headquarters didn't respond to requests for comment. In Adelanto, the Department of Justice runs immigration courts where detainees have their deportation cases heard. Currently, judges in these courtrooms are hearing the cases of immigrants elsewhere in the country using video due to dwindling numbers at the desert facility, said immigration judge Mimi Sonchov, president of the National Association of Immigration Judges. Over time, hundreds of detainees have been released on bond or due to health concerns or deported, and some wings of the facility have been closed down, said Eva Bitran, an ACLU staff attorney. It's a tremendous waste of resources, she said. Subscribe for the latest from The Hill.